Hey, this is Jim Hart. I'm here from the Hart Law Firm in Cary, North Carolina, and today I want to talk to you about 3 mistakes that people commonly make when they're filing for their own divorce. I'm a bit casual today. It's a Sunday, so I apologize. I'm not wearing a suit or anything. I hope you're okay with that. But the information I'm going to give you will be well worth it for you. So, the first mistake I typically see people make when they file for their own divorce is that they file too soon. In North Carolina, you have to be separated for at least 12 months before you can file for divorce, which is different than other states. Um, and that means you actually have to live separate and apart. You can't be living in the same residence in different bedrooms. That's a frequent question I get. You actually have to be living in separate residences at separate addresses, mailing addresses. And you have to be doing that for a year, and it has to be continuous. So if you're there for 6 months in another apartment, and then 6 months you're like, you know what, let's just, let's see if we can work this out. And you go back and live together for a week, and you realize it was a huge mistake, and then you move out again. Well, the year just started over again. So that's a big mistake that people make, is they file their divorce case too soon. They file before the 1 year period is up. And if you do that, and if you actually were to take that all the way through to the end, actually got a divorce, or a judge to sign off on that divorce judgment, that's all great and good, but that divorce judgment is going to be void, and you're going to have to go back and refile the whole process over again. And so that means you actually can't sign any divorce paperwork, you can't file anything in the divorce, you can't do anything until the 1 year period is up. So that's the number one mistake I see people make very frequently in North Carolina divorce cases. The second mistake I see people make is that they don't serve their spouse properly. So when you start a lawsuit in North Carolina, and that's what this is, make no mistake about it, you are filing a lawsuit when you file a complaint for absolute divorce in North Carolina. You have to serve the other party. So you're a party. If you're the spouse that's filing the lawsuit, you're going to be considered the plaintiff, and your spouse is going to be considered the defendant. They're also a party. I frequently see people that want to just basically hand the paperwork to their spouse. That's a no-go. They want to mail it to them. That's not going to work unless you do it the right way. The most common method of service in North Carolina is going to be certified mail. So if you send something to them, and you have that little green card, and actually, you're going to need to have one of these attached to the letter that you mail out to your spouse. If you have one of these attached and you get this card back from the Postal Service, then that is going to be effective service. Another common way to affect service in North Carolina is to actually hire the sheriff to go out and serve your spouse personally, and it has to be the sheriff in the county where your spouse resides, regardless of where you filed the case. So if you filed the case in Wake County but your spouse lives in Mecklenburg County, then you have to hire a sheriff in Mecklenburg County to go out and serve your spouse. The third common mistake that I see people make in these cases, if they file the divorce on their own, is that they don't properly preserve all the claims in their divorce. So a lot of people, they don't have anything resolved. They haven't decided who's going to own what property. They have not decided how to split up their retirement accounts. Maybe there's cash that still needs to be divided. They haven't done any of that. And what they do is they go ahead and just file the divorce because they want to be separated, they want to be divorced, they want to be done with it, and they think that that's good enough and that they can go back later and handle those claims. Well, the fact of the matter is you can't go back later and handle those claims. The court no longer has jurisdiction to handle those claims for you. So if you have issues that are still pending, if you need support from your spouse, and we're not talking about child support, you can always deal with child support, but if we're talking about alimony, post-separation support, spousal support, if you need that, you need to make sure you preserve those claims when you file your absolute divorce. If you want to get real property out of the divorce, you need to make sure you preserve those claims as well. A frequent one that people mess up is retirement accounts and pensions, and if you don't properly preserve those, then you're going to lose those. And you don't need to file them immediately when you file the absolute divorce, although that's very common and that's what most lawyers will do. But as long as the claim is pending prior to the divorce being filed with the clerk, then you're going to be okay. But I wouldn't recommend that you wait that long. I would get those claims filed immediately. if that's something that is going to be of concern to you. So those are the three big common mistakes I see people make. They file too soon, they don't properly serve their spouse, and they don't preserve all the claims that they need to preserve in their divorce. There's many other mistakes that people make, and I go through all of those in the Do-It-Yourself Divorce course that I offer. And you can click below to get more information on that. But those are the three big ones that you really need to know about. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call anytime. And again, I'm Jim Hart from the Hart Law Firm in Cary, North Carolina. Thanks so much. Have a great day.